Hi guys, I hope you're having an awesome day today. Today we're going to be creating a makeup look, a summer inspired makeup look, which is why my face is so bare. I wanted to share my full face routine. I'm going to attempt to keep it short because I have a hard time keeping things like short and sweet. But I am inspired by the Weird Fluid Otherworldly shadow palette that I got in my Ipsy Glam Back Plus for June. So beautiful and colorful. I really wanted to try it out today, but I thought that I would create I guess I will share what kind of makeup I wear during the summer for my face. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm first gonna apply this lip oil, the Cap Cosmetics lip oil in Rum Punch. I always try to wear something like this when I'm doing my makeup because my lips are very dry right now. Okay, that's really nice and hydrating. And yeah, this is my bare face. Let's get started. I'm first gonna go in with the Glow Recipe Plump Hyaluronic Serum. I've been using this for months and really love it. Got it from BoxyCharm as well. So I like it because it's hydrating, but it's not oily, which I have dry skin, so oils are not bad for me. But I feel like too much oil might not be good for anyone. But that's nice and set. And then I'm gonna go in with the First Day Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. And I don't know if I will use this as just a primer. So I'm going to apply it as my moisturizer today. And I think I'm still going to go ahead and use primer, but I'm going to apply this all over my face. It feels really smooth and almost like a moussey texture, but it doesn't quite get to be a moussey texture. Very smooth and hydrating, but it doesn't feel like just a moisturizer and not just a primer either. I can see how it's like a mix of both products, and I think I applied way too much, but I'm gonna drag it towards my neck. So I really like that, and just for reference, it doesn't really have a strong coconut scent. I feel sort of like a beachy scent at first, but it definitely dissipated. And yeah, it gives me a really nice glow. So this is perfect if you like the glowy look, but I think I'm still gonna go ahead and apply a tiny bit of primer. This is the Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer, and I'm gonna apply just a few, like a little bit around my T-zone and my cheeks here and around my nose. And while we're at it, a tiny dot around everywhere else. So I've let that sit for a while now. I was doing things with my family like for about 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm gonna go in with my foundation product for the day, and it's the Milani Glow Hydrating Skin Tint, and I'm in the shade 210 light to medium. And this is a pretty light coverage product, which in my opinion is perfect for summer. One of the things I love so much about it is that I have dry skin, and this product doesn't crease, so it doesn't get cakey or anything on me. It feels almost like a serum, but it does cover up a lot of redness and imperfections that I have going on, and I can get it to build up with like a little concealer and some other products. So I really enjoy this, and I think it's perfect to wear just a little bit if you want a very natural look, or build it up a little more if you want. But I'm gonna just take a little bit in my hand and dot it all over my face. And I'm gonna blend it with the Complex Culture foundation brush here. This is the angled foundation brush. I really like this brush, and yeah, I'm just gonna go to town blending this into my skin. So I really enjoy this tinted moisturizer because I love the way that it looks. It's really natural, but it feels like I'm wearing absolutely nothing. And yeah, I really enjoy it. And now I'm gonna go in with concealer, my favorite one at the moment. One of my favorite ones. It's the Complex Culture Let Up Concealer, and I'm in the shade M300, and I got this in the Ipsy Glam Back Plus, I think for May. And I've used it a couple of times and I really enjoy it. So I'm gonna go just like under my eyes. I don't really use a lot of concealer, but this one I feel like I could go half a shade lighter for under my eyes, but it does work out in the end. And I'm gonna use this sponge, but I don't have it like wet or anything. I want to use it dry, just because I don't know, it just works out better for me this way. Sometimes I get it too wet, I wet it a little bit. So I love this concealer, but for under my eyes I prefer like even just half a shade lighter. So I'm gonna go with a tiny dot of the Wet n Wild Megalast Incognito All Day Full Coverage Concealer in the shade light beige, just because I still see like my tiredness peeking through. You know what I mean? Just a tiny bit. It seems like I keep getting more and more. I could go crazy with concealer. So I'm just gonna blend that. Now I've tried a few times now to use like a cream blush that I got. I think it was from BoxyCharm. I don't know if it was BoxyCharm or Ipsy months ago. And it's so pretty. I layer it with powder on top. And I've never tried cream blush before this one. And I think I like it. It's interesting. So I apply it before I do any powders. And it's the Wonder Beauty Double Date Lip and Cheek. I think this is called Sweet Talker, the shade that I have. And it's like a peachy, almost orangey. So I was like really kind of afraid of it at first. But going with this first gives me a really pretty glow, and then I go in with like a more pink toned blush that is in a powder form on top. So I just take my finger and apply like a few dots right here. I like to do my blush a little bit higher just because I don't want to have, I try to cover up my redness on my cheeks. I don't want them to turn out too pink after I just covered up the redness. Do you know what I mean? So I've just been liking this lately. I don't like my blush to be like too blushy, if that makes sense. So I like that, and I'm gonna go in with this brush from Shayna B Miami, and I'm just gonna like kind of pat the brush on it to get it to settle into my skin better. And see, like it's not even showing up so much. And I feel it's almost like it's a primer for my real powder blush. I don't know how to explain it, but I really like this because at least on my skin tone is not like super duper pigmented. But I'm also gonna apply a little bit of like liquid highlighter right there before I do my powder. I've been enjoying this. I've had this for months from Ipsy and I had never tried it yet. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Glow Highlighter in Oyster, and this is so pretty. And open my eyes to like liquid highlighter. So it's a really pretty shade, and I've also been just applying a tiny bit right up before I apply that blush. I can really go overboard with this, but I try to make it to not do too much. The good thing is that this is like very close to my skin tone, so even if I applied a lot, I would just have a glow. Like it won't be looking super crazy, but I feel like I did overdo it already. I definitely overdid it, but that's fine. And using the same brush I've been using this brush for like both of my like liquid or cream products. And then I'm just gonna go and blend that into my skin and kind of like into the blush a little bit. And I like the glow. I was not about the glow some time ago, but I really have been enjoying it, and I think it's perfect for summer. My favorite setting powder ever, because it's perfect for dry skin, is the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder right here. And I do get mine in the shade medium. And I find that this is perfect because I use like a pretty bright concealer for the most part, like this one here from Wet n Wild. And this one being my shade, like it's kind of like blends together and makes it so it's perfect. So I just go very lightly with my sponge and get a little bit of powder to set my under eye, but I don't do too much. And I really enjoy this powder because it has a glow, but you don't really see it. But the way that I see it is that it doesn't look too matte or drying, because my under eyes do get dry for some strange reason. And I'm not gonna set too much. I am gonna set like around here though, around my cheek a little bit, because I applied too much of that liquid highlighter. So this will help to kind of dial it back a little bit. And I did my eyebrows really quickly. I'll have a tutorial for my eyebrows down below somewhere in case you guys want to see how I do my brows, because that will take way too long. And you can leave your face just like this. Well, I do sometimes. But I have my favorite powder foundation, which is the Beauty Creations Flawless Day Powder Foundation. And I'm in the shade 70. And you can get this to be really full coverage. But if I use like a very fluffy brush, I just get like a light layer. And I'm using another Complex Culture brush. Wow, this is the plush powder brush. And my foundation actually like broke I have to buy a new one because this is my favorite. The formula is perfect if you have dry skin or oily skin, but for me with dry skin, I struggle to find good powder foundations that aren't caking or drying. But I'm gonna just take a little bit and kind of get it all around my face, around my cheeks, just to get a little bit more coverage. Again, this is just in case you do want a little more coverage. So I like that, and I still haven't lost my glow. And I'm gonna go in with a little bronzer, but I'm gonna go in with the Beaute Bronze Tint Paradise bronzer palette that I got through BoxyCharm, like my first box ever, I think July 2020. And this angled brush, contour brush from Milani Miami, and I'm just gonna dip into these two shades, starting on top here and then going down. First, I'm gonna place it and then blend along my jawline, along my hairline, and also over here, connecting it to this one. So I guess like doing a 3. You probably heard that before, but that's what I try to follow. But yeah, let me go ahead and apply it and then blend it. Just a little bit to my nose, the top of my nose. Then I'm gonna take my setting powder and the sponge and just sculpt it out a little bit, just because I'm dramatic. Just along my cheeks and my nose. I'm gonna sculpt on my nose and then also apply setting powder to like this part down here. For blush today, I'm trying out this one that I got in my Ipsy Glam bag, the $12 bag. And it's the IBY Beauty Carry On 2 blush in the shade Sunkissed. And it was just so pretty, and I couldn't wait to finally try it out. Just a really pretty shade, and it swatched so nicely. And I'm gonna place this, like it almost disappeared as you can see, but I still have the glow from that cream blush, which I like that. I wanted that. I didn't want it to be super orangey, but I'm gonna apply it like right on top and go up. Like that seems so intense. And because I overdid it with the blush, I went in with my bronzer brush and kind of blended those two together to make it a little bit more natural and not so intense. But now we're gonna get to highlight, and I feel like I have a lot of new highlighters that I just don't even know where they are. But I did want to try, recently did a tutorial with the BH Cosmetics Pearl for June eyeshadow palette, and the main shade in the palette is like this pearl color right here, and it was really pretty underneath my brow bone and in my inner corner. So just because I want to try a new one, I'm gonna go ahead and try that with this little highlighter brush from Luxie brushes, right on top of like the Anastasia liquid highlighter. And yeah, that's so pretty, totally my style. The tip of my nose and the bridge as well. I like my highlight, even though I think I totally overdid it. And blend out. If I always go too crazy, I go in with like my powder brush and tone it down. But, oh my god, my nose is crazy. Yeah, that's intense. But I think we're doing good. We're finally gonna get to the star of the show, which is what this video is mostly about. And it's the eyeshadow, which is my favorite thing in the world. I'm gonna prime my eyelids using the NYX eyeshadow base in the shade white if you want. But I like this one because it's creamy, but it dries down matte. And I feel like it does help my shadow to stay for longer. So I'm starting out, this one they call it the eye crease brush from Milani Miami. Looks like a fluffy brush to me. Let me take out this little plastic thing from the palette. This palette is just really gorgeous, and I could not wait to play with it. Oh, I should swatch it. This video is about this palette. Let me swatch it for you guys. I did a very quick swatch. This palette is so like different. It retails for $18, and I just really enjoy how it swatched. And now let me see what look I'm gonna create today. So taking that eye crease like fluffy brush from Shinobi Miami, I'm gonna dip into this light brown up here just to start things off and sort of get to know the palette a little bit and see how the pigments work. And I'm gonna apply it to sort of the outer corner and blend it into my crease and see where it goes, because I've never used this formula before. So I'm gonna tap and then blend up, tap and blend up. And now I'm doing circular motions to drag it towards the front lid. This is a really pretty transition shade, and if you have lighter skin than me, even nicer for you probably, but there's a darker brown in here which will work really nicely for me. But I like this to blend and just as a transitional shade. Now I'm taking a Morphe M321 brush. I call these crease brushes. They're very like small like that. And I'm gonna go into the middle brown. So not the darkest brown, but this one that's more warm tone than that one right here. This one. And I'm gonna apply that directly onto my crease. Like so. So I'm just going back and forth with my brush, making sure to keep the pigment there and attempting not to drag it down too much or higher too much, but kind of leaving it to the top lid, inner lid, and connecting it to that initial shade. Okay. Taking the fluffy brush from earlier without adding anything to it, it probably has a little bit of product left over. I'm going to just blend a little bit to kind of get those to blend together and make this, the shade that I just applied, a little bit more natural. Like that. Okay, so I can't take it anymore. If you know my channel and you watched me before, you know how obsessed I am with green eyeshadow. So I need to place that on my lid right away. So this green here, I haven't even said the shade names. The first one was Astro Halo. The second brown was Mercurial. And this green here is called Galaxy. What a cute name. So I'm gonna attempt to just go with my finger first. How pretty and like super bright, like neon green is that? So I'm gonna apply that to my center lid. That is pretty. I'm taking this small lid brush from Morphe to attempt to be more precise. And I'm just gonna perfect the application of that green shimmer. So I'm first gonna pack the pigment on my lid, all over my lid. Kind of skipping out on the outer part of my lid because, yes, sort of the center and the inner lid, I should say. Then digging into the shadow, like with the tip of the brush. Gonna get some shadow on the tip, and I'm going to go all along the natural curve of my eyelid to create sort of a cut crease effect. I love this shade. Wow. I'm gonna try to build that up along the natural curve of my eyelid up here to make it more stand out more like it's a cut crease, so it can look more like a cut crease. That is giving me life. I am obsessed with this shadow. I love this palette just for that shadow alone. And the matte so far, very nice, and as you saw, very blendable and also pigmented, like you can get them to build. So I love that. I'm in love so far. But taking that crease brush from Morphe from earlier, I'm gonna dip into the darkest brown, which is sort of like a cool tone brown, I want to say. It looks different. I like it, and it's called Queer Star. How cool is that? And I'm gonna take it very lightly, and I'm gonna tap the excess off because don't want to mess this up. I'm gonna apply it to the outer corner of my eye and then blend upwards into my outer crease. So I'm gonna tap it sort of upwards. See, let me get a little bit more. Actually go like this. I'm gonna place it like this, going back and forth, and then swipe my brush along the outer crease. And I'm first gonna focus on blending this in the spot that it's at so that it's even. And up here, since I don't have much product on my brush, I'm now gonna on my crease kind of drag it towards the front to get sort of like a gradient, to like a lighter brown in the front and then going to darker brown in the outer crease. like this. I need to add a little more here because it's looking patchy to me, but that was me. I'm gonna get a little bit more product, and I'm gonna place it in the outer part and blend it towards the center lid just a tad bit, because I don't want this to turn into a brown look. I really don't, but I want it to look natural. And I'm gonna just create sort of a small flare shape. So I'm gonna extend it with the tip of my brush. I think that's enough. I can always overdo it when I flare it. Okay, that might be fine. Then I think I'm gonna take a little bit of that shimmer, just a tiny bit, because I cannot have it be a brown look. Again, just a brown look. So I'm gonna just along here make sure that it doesn't disappear. Then I gotta go back in with the crease brush. Oh my gosh, I could be here all day. But see how that looks a little bit more natural. I want where they mix to not look dark brown or super green either. I want it to be a mix of both so that it looks more natural. I think that's fine for now. It's so beautiful. I love it. Now I really need to use every single shadow in this palette, or most of the shadows at least. So I don't know how I feel about yellow, but I'm gonna attempt to see if I can find a way. So I'm gonna take the yellow first on like a small lid brush. This is from the brand Luna Magic, and I'm gonna apply it to underneath my lower lash line. I feel like this is light enough to where I can get away with just applying all over and then building it with other colors. So I'm gonna apply all over underneath my lower lash line. This is sort of like a mustardy yellow. It's not like super neon. Then I'm gonna take the orange. Oh, the yellow's color is, the yellow's name is Stalactic. The orange matte is Blood Moon. Cute name. I'm gonna apply, I should have done it first, but the Fenty Beauty Fluide Pencil Longwear Pencil Eyeliner in the shade Grills. I got this in Ipsy in May, and it's like a yellow gold. And I really enjoyed it, so I think it's perfect for this look, since I'm gonna have like an orangey yellowish thing going on in the bottom lower lash line. So I'm gonna apply that to my waterline. So now I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit more of the yellow. And now using the same brush, I'm gonna go into the orange, and I'm going to apply that right on top of the yellow. This is really gonna intensify it. Now I'm gonna take a pencil brush, and I'm gonna dip into the orange shimmer Andromedes, okay? And I'm gonna apply it, I feel like in my inner corner, but blend in towards the front part of underneath my lower lash line to kind of blend them together. But this is like a really reflective shimmer, so I really think it's like, oh, it's really pretty. It's looking yellow in some parts and orangey in the others. Like if it mixes with the green, oh my god, that's actually pretty. Love it. I really love it. And I need to figure out a way to wear this glitter. I just don't want to put it on top because the green is just too perfect for me. I'm really going to attempt to use like this angled very small brush and maybe get it in the center of underneath my lower lash line. It feels creamy when I dip in, so I'm going to attempt, but I don't know how it'll go. Let's see. That's really pretty. So I created a line underneath right there before the shadow ends, and I think it's pretty. I really enjoy that glitter because it doesn't feel like loose glitter. It feels like almost like a gel-like texture. I'm gonna take this fluffy brush from earlier and just kind of go up like this and clean up. I don't want to get rid of the shadow, but I want to clean up like these edges a little bit. And I didn't add any product to it. And now I'm gonna apply some lashes and decide what lip I'm gonna go with. I always take 100 years. I have no idea. What lip would you wear with this look? Please let me know in the comments. So I have orange, like rainbow glitter, green, brown. Like what lip do you go with? Wait, I'm so confused. Okay, so I applied this liquid lipstick from Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Crush. And it's very pinky, too pinky, and it's very drying. I really like these lipsticks, but I always use like a gloss over them because they're extremely matte. So because I need something to be more neutral, I'm gonna attempt to use this gloss from House Laboratories, and it is La Riot Lip Gloss in shade Chaser, and it's a brown. So I hope that it works together. See, I don't want it to be too brown, but I need the pink to like calm down. I'm using my finger to kind of dot it because I did not like the way that applied over the lipstick. Like it didn't even feel like a gloss. So I'm trying to like make them stick together, and then I'm gonna get a really like glossy gloss. This might not make sense, but I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty lip strobe in the shade Mystical. It's like a purplish lavender lip gloss. Just because I realized I have like purple glitter going on, so that might look nice. And it is pretty nice and glossy. It's like the pop-up color that I still needed. I don't know, let me know if you think this is way too extra. I think the only thing that I forgot is like underneath my brow bone, I'm gonna go in with that pearl shade from this palette from earlier, just to get a little highlight going on there. Okay guys, I think this is the final look. Please let me know in the comments, what did you think about today's look? What do you think about today's video style? I wanted to incorporate some of my products that I use for my face because I record a lot of videos and I enjoy these kinds of videos and I like them, but I feel like I would talk way too much. But let me know in the comments what you thought. This little palette right here, I am so in love with it. I'm looking in the mirror here. That green has my heart. The yellow shimmer, it's so stunning too. Everything I loved. That glitter really surprised me because I feel like it's not loose, so it's nicer to work with than your typical like loose glitter. Really pretty palette. And you honestly, if you don't like everything in here, you can just create like a look with the browns and use maybe like the orange shimmer. It's not super bright. Oh, I meant orange shimmer, it's not a yellow shimmer. But that one, see, like that, it looks like yellow a little bit, but you can use that in your on your lid. It's so pretty. The look, in my opinion, I really enjoyed it today. I felt like I was playing with color, which I was missing a little bit. And yeah guys, I think that's gonna be the end of today's video. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up for me so I know to make more like this. Also, don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I'll see you all in my next video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye guys. Mwah.